Hello. Yeah. Okay. So today we'll see the assets in Orchestrator. There is a concept called assets in Orchestrator. Um, Let us see a small example. So normally, you all know about this UI demo, right? UI demo. The username is like a admin and password, and you have to type the information like a transaction numbers. This is Excel. This Excel contains all the information like all the three values. So what we have to do is we have to type each and every value. So the first value in the first text box, second value in the second text box, third value in the text box, and click on the accept. This transaction number will change every time. Okay. Okay. So these are all the things. So these are all the things. So what we will do. We'll see assets in the basically assets are like assets in the assets orchestrator assets. It's like a variables, but you are storing the values in the globally. So what happened? You're storing the values in the globally. Normally, if you see here, let us just create a small app data entry. Okay, small app data entry. Okay, now what we will do? So we'll just simply create a small asset like a log into the application. Just open application. Opening this application, right? Indicate on the screen. Select that particular application. Okay. So once you select that application, so what will happen in the properties panel? So you can see the path of this application, right? This path of this application. Okay. So okay. So once it opens and so type into login things like so indicate on the screen and log into the username like a username of the admin and the password of the so after that password you have to click on the login button. This is just a log into the application. Okay, log into the application. So let us run this process. Okay, run this process. What it will do is it will just go to the open that application and type the username and password and click on the okay. What we will do, so we'll just suppose this variable, this is a value, right? This is a value. So this value we can store into a variable. Okay, variable in the sense so UI demo. Okay, UI demo path. Instead of here the file path, you are giving the UI demo path, the variable. Okay, the variable you are giving. So and also if you want to give, so you can use the username and password, the variables, and now let us try to run again. So it's working fine. Okay. So what is our process? It has to just type the username and password and login. Do you understand? So just click on the publish. We will publish this process into the orchestrator. The application name is like a so small app and data entry. Let's go to the orchestrator. You see in the automations, create a process. So anyway you can find the small app, right? Small app data entry, which is just now published 0.1 version, and I'm just giving this robot and create a process. The process name is like so UI demo data entry. So that is the process name. Okay. So let me close the studio. So we don't have a studio. Let's imagine. So my system itself, it is a production system. Okay. So we have to run in the production system. So you can run from the orchestrator or you can schedule the job, right? So now I am just running from the production system. Okay. From the orchestrator, UI demo. From the orchestrator, I'm running into the production system. Just imagine, so we don't have a studio here. Just imagine this is a production system. So just start the process. If you start the process, just see what will happen. This will run. This will open the whatever we're doing. So the same thing it done. So log into the opening the application, type the username and password, and click on the login button. It is working fine, right? It is in the production system. So what happens? Some days it's working fine for a few days. After that, so what they just moved this UI demo to the another folder. So there's a something like a new version, something new version. In this new version, you're just dragging and dropping here. So currently, this application path is changed. Okay, application path is changed. Understand? Now let us try to run from the orchestrator and the same process. Will it run? Just type in this chat window. Will it run successfully? Yeah, let us see what will happen. See, it is a faulted. See, it is a faulted. What happened? The status is a faulted. It's a failed. Okay, so faulted error. It is a faulted error. Let us see what happened in the logs. Just go and click on this and view logs. Okay, so see, this is the error. Okay, this is the information. So you can just monitor the logs and find out which error it is. Okay, error. Just open that log. So the open application UI demo, the system cannot find the file specified. Okay, what happened? The file path is changed. Okay, so in these cases, so it may be it not only be a file path may change, right? It is like a may change in future, or URL may change. So suppose, for example, they give us some URL, website URL. So they change the URL into the another URL, right? Suppose it's like a www.abc.com. After 6 months, they just it's another thing. So they moved a whole website into the www.bbc.com. Okay, what happens? What they have to do? They have to change the URL which the robot is using, right? Like that credentials, the username and password. So normally, if you use the username and password, so some websites, it will ask you to change the password in particular intervals, right? So after 6 months or after 1 month or 3 months, you have to change the password, right? Once you change the password for the applications, okay, not for the UiPath. Just please listen carefully here, okay? If you are using some website like a HDFC bank website, what the bot has to do, bot has to log into that HDFC bank website, so which you gave the username and password into the UiPath process. You created one variables and store the username and password for your HDFC login, and suddenly, so it is working fine. It is giving us every month. You specify that transaction list from which account to which account you have to transfer, how much amount you have to transfer. Okay, you schedule a bot every first day of month. Okay, so once your salary is credited into your account, so the bot will run automatically and credits. Pay the bills and sending the pay the rents, these things and all, sending the amount to the EMIs, these things and all. You created one bot and schedule everyone every month first day. Okay, so after 6 months, HDFC ask you to change the password. Okay, so the bot is in the production. So what you have to do? If you change the password of the HDFC bank, the personal bank account, you have to change. The robot does not know which you change the password, right? You understand? So what you have to do, you have to go to the code again and change the password variable to the new password. Okay, the old password to the new password. Okay, in the same thing happens here. Normally we just uh, created earlier, when we created the application is in this place. The path is changed. If the path is not changed, it is working fine from the orchestrator. Suddenly the path is changed. Now the path is changed to the another location. You have to understand. So if I'm just saying the path, so just imagine the URL of the website. Okay, so maybe anything may change in future. Okay, so you should not touch the code. So suppose, for example, every time you go to the take the whole code from the production to the your development environment and change the value for the application, right? Which is a solution? So which solution you will give? Do you understand the problem? If the application path may change, URL may change, credential may change, right? So can you suggest the developer? So because what they have to do, every time whenever the changes of the paths and the static values is changing, they have to take the whole code into the development environment and change the value of the variables and republishing into the production. So but even though it is a small change of the value, it has to go through the development life cycle, like a development phase. So once it is a developed, even though it is a simple change, it has to go to the QA, UAT, user acceptance test, then production, right? It takes a lot of time. Even though it is a simple change, it takes a lot of time, days. Okay, can you suggest the developer, or how can we resolve this one? Just type in the chat window, how can we resolve these things? First of all, do you understand the problem? Dynamic. So what is that? That is a dynamic. So tell me some solution. Okay. What is assets? Okay. Without assets, normally. So how can you suggest? Dynamic variable means, what is a dynamic variable? I'm not understanding. Dynamic variable means you are creating the variable, right? What is the dynamic variable? What is a selector? Mm, Surya, you said dynamic variable, and another one said like a selector. So because here we are not depending on the selector, we just talk about the where see, so the path of the Excel, path of the application, URLs, not selectors. Okay, and next one is like so assign those changes items as a dynamic variable. I'm not getting you. So what is a dynamic variable? So what you meant by dynamic variable? This is a value. So what you were saying is the dynamic variable? No. I will tell you about the assets, Sneha. So I'm just asking you, accept the assets. Okay. So up to now, what I am thinking is like you do not know about the assets. Okay. Okay. So just suggest some suggestion without assets where we have to keep these values. Dynamic path means we can go with the dynamic path because like so last time we go with the dynamic path like a desktop, right? So maybe they may move to this D drive or C drive, E drive. Understand, Monisha? You said dynamic path. So dynamic path means if it's at only desktop, the specific thing, then we can go with the take the dynamic. Dynamically takes every desktop. That means desktop path, but it's not like that. So the file uidemo.exe, they may change to the any drive, but they have to update. Let us see the password. Okay, let us see the password. The password you have to change. So, but so what we can do? So any suggestions where we can see where we can just use? Can we check any condition and get the display message? it's not like checking whether the path is existed or not, and show the message. Okay, so because the one thing we have to keep in mind is like, so 90% we should not use the message boxes for the unattended bots. Unattended bots, if you, so unattended bot means the process is working in one system, so no one is monitoring on that system. Okay, just imagine that system is locked, but the work is going on inside. But if you use a message box, who will go and click on that message box? Do you understand? Tamil Selvi? Okay. Modifiers. I did not get you the modifiers. Okay. So the one thing, so what I'm expecting from you is like um, if you have a text file or any file which is outside of the UiPath, so and keep those values into the outside. Suppose, for example, Excel. In the Excel, you just keep these values so and store into the that particular Excel the path where whatever the things might change in future. Those things you can just keep in the text file. Okay, text file, not only the text file, so text file or Excel or any file which is a outside of the UiPath, a config file like that. Okay, so but even though it is a config file or as a file, so it is okay, but there is again the problem is like, so you have to log into that particular system to modify that text file or the config file. Okay, do you understand? If it's uh, we learn the dictionaries, right? Clearly paid. If you use some like a configure XLSX, some any configuration file, okay, you just like a specify the UI demo path is equal to C drive slash user slash, right, desktop. So if you just use this kind of, so the bot reads the text file and it will pick the path from the text file. So tomorrow, if the path is changed, what will happen? You can simply change in the text file. You are not touching the code because you understand. You can change the things in the text file. But here, to access the text file, again you need to log into that application, that server, right? That server, basically that system. Okay, but again, another solution is like a shared drive. Some people, what they will do in the shared drive. So if you just your drive as a shared drive, so other network in the other network, some from the other systems, you can access that folder, right? If you keep this file into the shared drive, you don't need to log into that server. You don't need to log into that server to modify the text file or see a config file. You can just, some people, they will just keep those config files in the shared drive. Why they are keeping? So they don't want to log into that application, that OS, that system, okay, that Windows, so to modify the text files or Excel files. But here also another problem is like, so if your process one underscore config.xlsx is there, where you are keeping all the values which may change tomorrow. Suddenly the one value is changed. Okay? You have to modify this Excel. It is in the shared drive. So you access without logging to the Windows, you access this XLSX and you are changing. So you open this Excel. You open this Excel, right? You forgot to close the Excel or you open the Excel in the same time the bot starts, bot is triggered. You do not know that, okay? Bot is triggers in that particular time. Suppose a 5 o'clock, 5:30 is a 5:30 bot has to run. Bot schedule in the 5:30 a.m. or this CPM, okay? You open this Excel from the shared drive in 5 o'clock, 28 p.m. But your work is not done. You are just not modified yet. You just waited for up to 540. Okay, what will happen if you use a workbook activities? See, if someone else is opened the same Excel and that same Excel is used by the bot, so then it will fix error because the bot is supposed to run 530, right? When it's run, it has to access the process one underscore config.xlsx. But what happens? Some developer or the support team, they open that file and they forgot to close because they do not know that what is running in the time. Okay, why they open to change the path or to change the URL or to change the credentials. Do you understand the problems? So if you keep these things into the Excels or text files or the files within the OS or shared drive, just type yes or no. Okay, if you just type no also, I will re-explain. Okay, the main thing is that you have to understand. Do you understand this? The problems which you are just keeping all the things in the shared drive or the text files or Excel files. Okay, now that, so you have that's the one problem, and also not only that, so that is the one problem. The another problem is like the second problem. Okay, suppose you are using the some like a HDFC login part. Okay, login part. HDFC personal login. You're using the HDFC personal banking application. Not only so, you have to use the beneficial and something like so you just okay, so mutual funds, something like that. Okay, so you have a four bots. Okay, bot number one. What does the bot number one do? Bot number one checks, it runs every time, and it checks the uh, uh, what is that? So balance and notify. Okay, so bot number two will, it's like a process one and process two, process three, process four. Let's see. Okay, process 4 is a mutual funds. These are all the different projects, totally different projects, different processes, but they are using the same application for different processes. Listen here carefully, okay? So you have four processes scheduled in four different systems on four different time intervals, okay? And the purpose of the all four is a totally different, but the common thing is like all the four is using a same application with the same credentials. Understand? So what happened after 6 months? So they change the password of the application. If they are using the variables to keep the username and password for the this personal banking application, so what they have to do? They have to change, open this process in the new password, update the new password in these two, update the new password in these three, update the new password in the MF process, right? You have to update the not only in the single process, you have to update in the multiple processes. Okay, so that is a one problem. So yeah, that is a one problem. So where you can keep all the things in the globally. So you're just storing the values in the cloud. Okay, global values. So where if you change in single place, all the bots which is referring those assets or the values, it automatically modify. That is called assets. Assets is like a, so it's like a variables, so which holds the value. So assets is not like a new concept. Okay, normally you are using the variables, right? In the variables panel, what variables will do? Variable has a data type, it stores a value. It holds the value, okay, to use further in the process. In the assets is also a variables, okay. It holds a value, it has a data type, but it is stores in the cloud, okay. It stores in the orchestrator. You're just keeping the values into the orchestrator. Which type of values you have to keep in the orchestrator? The values which may change in future. Yeah, you're just storing into the global variables, understood. But just tell me some type of values. So what values may change in the future? Just type something in the chat window. What type of values may change in future? Passwords, perfect. Then website URLs, perfect. The paths, perfect, okay. The path of the files may change. URLs, application, and database. See, database connections. So database connection string, like that. Okay, database connection strings and username and passwords, the paths, okay, folder names, okay. So or something like an email body. Suppose if they want to send the email body in particular format, if tomorrow they want to change the email body to the different thing, and also email address or email CC address. So what happens? So today, haribabu@abc.com. Okay? So they asked the bot has to send the mails, reports of the particular process. Just rephrase it. So okay, so one process is there. In that process, when the process runs from the orchestrator, at the end of the process it has to send the summary mail. Okay, to whom? It has to send to the project manager or a business manager, okay, a business analyst, something like that. Who is a business analyst in this case? Haribabu. Okay, Haribabu at abc.com. It is working fine. Everyday robot running. Every day the robot is sending the mails, summary mails to whom? Every day bot runs, and then it sends a summary mail to whom? The project manager Haribabu. Okay. So what happened? He changed the job. He resigned in the ABC company. He joined in the XYZ. Okay. In his place, another person came. Okay. Or Kiran Babu. Okay. Kiran Kumar. They hired the new person. What we have to do now? We should not send the mails. The board should not send the mails to the Haribabu because he resigned. He quit the job in the ABC company. He went to the some other company XYZ. Okay. Now we have to change the to address. So what we have to do now? So we should not touch the applications. We should not touch the servers, the bot servers where the bots are running. We should not touch the code. But even we have to change the email to the Haribabu to the new employee, new manager, Kiran Kumar at the abc.com. Understand? Yes. So Surya. So to mail maybe a global variable or CC, right? So the subject, anything may change tomorrow. Let us see now. So how can we do those things and all? Okay. First of all, let's go to the orchestrator and go to the assets here. You have assets in the here, and click on the assets and click on the create asset. Just creating the asset as the asset name. How we have a variable has a variable name. In the same way, UI demo application app. Okay, and so variable has a variable name, but asset has a asset name. Variable has a variable data type, but asset has a asset data types. Okay, so write down these 4 into your notebook. First, write down these 4 into your notebook. Okay, if you are maintaining notebook. Okay, so because it is an interview question, the common interview question, they will ask what are the types of assets we can create. That is the question. Okay, what is the question? So what type of assets we can create in the orchestrator? So you can create a text type, you can create a boolean type, you can create an integer type, you can create a credentials type, because we have only 4 types. Okay, and these are all the single types assets, single type assets. In the sense that this is like a, you can just specify the path of that. Okay, and the boolean is like a switch true or false. Okay, and if you just use the integer, this will allow you to provide only the integer value. So if you just type the characters, it won't allow. I'm just trying to see the characters, it is not allowing. Okay, so let us go to the text in this case and copy the path of this. So I'm just copy, cut, and paste here. Okay. Keep in mind, so you should not use the double quotes. Normally we are using the double quotes while you are using the string. Okay, so but you should not use the double quotes in the asset as a, see, you do not confuse. See, normally in UiPath we are using the strings, but our assets we have a text instead of string. We use the int32 into the UiPath Studio, but here in the assets, what is that? Integer, not int32. Okay, you have to mention clearly. It's not like a string; it is a text, boolean, integer, and credentials. Okay, let us see this one and on the create. So it's created. So UiPath app, UiPath demo app. So it's going to be created just now. Let us see. UI demo app. Yeah, UI demo app. Just copy the this asset name and go here. You have a activities to retrieve the assets, get assets. Okay. So for the assets, you have only 4 activities. Just keep in mind. Okay, only 4 activities. What are the activities? Get asset, set asset, get credential, set credential. That's it. Okay. So the whole four types, that is a text, integer, boolean, credentials, you can again split into the two types. So one is a single value, another one is a credential type. Single value type, credential type. What is a single value type? In the single value type, it comes the text, boolean, integer. These 3 are coming into the single value type. To retrieve those single value type, whether it is a text or boolean or what is that, integer, you have to use a get asset. Okay, the other thing is like a credential type. If you want to get the credential type, you have to use a get credential type. Okay, set asset, you can set the value from the UiPath Studio to the UiPath to the orchestrator asset, but it should have a permissions. You should have a permissions to set. By default it's not there. Yeah, let us get the assets. Normally 95% people use a get asset, get credential only. Okay, so because we're not going to set the values to, right? So when we will use a set values, so if one bot is setting the value, the other bot is taking that value, right? In that case, you can use a set asset. Let us see. Here you have to use a asset name into the double quotes. Okay, so asset name in the double quotes and the variable. So what is meant by set asset? Means you are setting the asset value. Suppose for example here we just give the value, right? So this value, if you want to set, normally what we will do, so this is a changing, we manually go log into the orchestrator and edit this orchestrator and change the path, right? This is a setting the value for the particular asset. But instead of you doing manually, so you can, the robot will do. That is called set asset, setting the value, sending the value. Okay. Assigning the value, set means assigning the value. So you're just providing the set name and the value. So let us see whether it will work or not. I will explain the set asset again. Let's see the get asset first. And here instead of variables, anyway we have a variable UiPath demo, UI demo path, UI demo path. Okay. So what will happen? So in whole workflow, you can't find see the actual static path. Suppose, for example, UI demo.exe. So if you find anything UI demo.exe, nothing, right? So this is a selectors only. Okay, these are selectors and the name. Suppose, for example, let us see the C drive / users. Nothing. You can't find, right? Control F. If you just try to find, so you can't find these things and all. Understand? But okay, but what will happen? It will connect to the orchestrator and take the value of this asset and assign those value to the this variable. So this variable we are using the filter, right? So where we are just okay, let's now just publish the process. Go to the processes. Okay, so you can see the update is available. Let's update the version with the latest version and update. Just run that particular process. So let us go and the UI demo, UiPath. What is it? What is the package name? Small. Okay, small app, and yeah. So anyway, you update this one. So let's go to the this process. Let's go to the jobs and run the job. Run the job. UI demo data entry. Now I'm just running. So we don't okay. So we don't running from the studio. We're not running from the studio. I'm just running from the orchestrator. So what will happen? The orchestrator. So this is running, and it will just updating the process, and it's failed. So let us see why it is failed. Okay, let us see whether it is updated or not properly. It is updated. So because if you don't update, so it will see the symbol here. So let us start again the process. Restart. Okay, let us see the errors. The system cannot find the specific file specified. Okay, so what happened? So it is a failing because of the path. So let us see the path which is mentioned in the assets. Go to the assets, and which path we mentioned. UI demo. This is the path. So what is the path? Just copy this path and try to identify. I'm just not this one. Okay. This one, right? Okay. Copy this path. I'm just copying this path without exe and go and run here and go to run and open. So we don't have a UI demo.exe here, right? But it is a wrong path. What we have to do without touching any code, so you're just specifying this path. Right click on copy as a path and go to the assets and change the path, remove the double quotes and click on the update. Okay. Now let's go to the automations, jobs, and restart this process. Now we will see. So we give the correct path of the exe, UI demo.exe. Now it will run. It is running now. Okay. You understand? Do you understand the usage of the assets? Suppose let us set the asset, and I don't know. So maybe we do not have a permissions, something like this. So if we just debug, yeah, it is throwing error because we do not have a permissions to this forbidden. So we don't have a permissions to set the assets here. normally, okay, so it's a permission issue. Normally, we don't set the assets first of all. Okay, we have to get asset and get credentials. Now, let us see the credentials. Okay, so once you log into this uh, this username and password, you should not hard code the username and password, right? Because if you just keep these credentials into your system, any robot, any server, so if you keep that, so it is not, it is a security issues, right? Maybe someone else go and open the text files and just take that, they may misuse those credentials, right? It's not a good best practice. Keep the credentials, username and password into the text files in text. What you have to do, you have a credential type. Let's go and create a assets. Demo cred is the asset name, and that is the credential type. The credential type is not a single value, it is a username and password. So just type the username and password here. The username is like a admin and password is like a password. So basically, see here, password. I just type the password and click on the create. What will happen here, if you want to change your, okay, if you want to just go okay, so demo cred is a, if you want to edit the password, once you open the password, so it won't show the password. Okay, it won't show the password. That means it is not store. It's not like that. So it is not stored. It is stored in the background, but it won't show. Okay, it is encrypted into the and stored in the background. This is a very secure way. So it is encrypted your password and stored in the background. So if you want to see the password, it is not possible. If you want to update the password, just give the new password, it will update automatically. Okay, give the password. Okay, you can't see the password. So suppose, for example, so if you give my orchestrator credentials to someone else, if they want to try to access and see some credentials of the particular application, they won't see. They won't able to see the passwords. Understand? These are that much secure thing. And let us see. Go to the UiPath. And also here, there is a resource panel is there. Okay? Resources panel. Okay. Here you can see the assets. Okay, expand the assets. You can see demo cred. Okay, just drag and drop. So these are all the things. So whatever normally earlier before this resource panel, so what developers will do, developers log into the orchestrator and take the, just for taking the name of the asset, they are just logging into the orchestrator. That's why they provided easy way. You can just go to the assets and just drag and drop here. Okay, so once you drag and drop, it will ask you what is the type. So what type of activity you want to place here. Okay, so that corresponding activity it will show. Okay, so get credentials. So once you use the get credentials, automatically it is set up this one. So now in the properties panel, if you go to the properties panel, in the properties panel, this is the asset name and the output is the username and password. So to keep this, just use the you create a variable for the demo username. That's the variable it will store. These values are not stored in the studio. It is stored in the password. So the password is like a, so it's not a string, it is a secure string. Okay, let's type the demo password. So this password is a secure string. Okay, so use a demo username, and you should not use a use demo password directly, because this type text is required what text. If you just use a demo password, but it is showing error. So because what this is expecting the string type, but what you pass the secure string type. See the message. It is unable to convert the secure string to the string type. Okay, so what you have to do, just note it down this formula. Okay, new environment, system dot net network credentials of string comma empty comma you demo. So what is the passwords? Actually, secure string you have to provide here. Dot passwords. This is a small code where you can convert. That means so secure string to plain text. You have to convert again the encrypted text to the plain text, ciphertext to the plain text. Then only you can type the password into the application. Okay, so this is a thing like a system. The network credentials open bracket string dot empty comma the secure string password which you get from the orchestrator assets, credential assets, and click on the password at the end. Okay, write down. And now, so you're not hardcode anything here. Okay, let us publish this one. Go to the automations and this is your process. Just update the version of the process here, version of the package in the process, latest version. Let's go to the jobs and simply, I'm just closing this one. Okay, simply run the job. You can run the job from here, or you can just simply restart that UI demo data entry. Okay. See now, now it is open the application and it's typing the admin and password, right? So where the admin and password is stored, just type in the chat window. So in which variable here? So in which variable, or whether it is like a UiPath Studio or assets, orchestrator assets. It is an orchestrator assets, right? So we are not stored the path into the studio, right? In the project, the path is stored in the orchestrator, and the credential is also stored in the orchestrator, right? That is assets. So if you want to use some other process also, if the process, same process, if you want to use this thing, then what will happen? Okay, so the same assets you can use. The assets you can share throughout the processes. Okay, not only that, so you can use us throughout the, we got the get assets and get credentials. And another thing is there here, assets. Okay, can be us. Yeah, you can access in any process these assets because it is a, so these assets are the global, right? So, but it's like a, wherever the bot, whichever the bot is connected to this orchestrator, those bot can able to access these assets. So what are the processes? Throughout the processes, any process you can use the same assets. Okay. Now here you have a, but we have a bot specific. How can we test this one? Bot specific. That's what. Okay. So how to run the? Let me do one thing. So let me go to the robots and okay. So go to the robots and create another robot. So which one we have to create? So can anyone share the screen? So who open the UiPath Studio? We'll do. So we'll just take the. Okay. So we'll take. So currently we have an orchestrator. We connect it to the one bot. That is called NTC bot, right? NTC bot. Okay. This is the orchestrator. Anyone just type in the chat window who are willing to share. So because so we have to connect to this particular robot. Okay, orchestrator. So what we will do, so we will just connect to the another robot also, another robot here. Okay, so yeah, Manisha. Okay, Monisha. Okay, so you have to connect to this word. So we will remove this for testing. Okay, so you can share your screen, right? You have open the UiPath Studio. Open your UiPath Studio. Now what we will do, so we will just think about the process also. The process. Okay, process. Okay, so we will just run the. Okay, so before that, just type a mission name, your mission name here in the chat window, Monisha. Let's go to the your robot and you can see the mission name, right? If you go to the robot assistant preferences, and if you just see the orchestrator settings, you can see the mission name here. Just if you already connected, just click on the disconnect and give the mission name. Okay, in the chat window. Copy mission name in the chat window. Okay. Monisha, so you're doing right? Okay. So what we will do, so we will just create a results folder here, results folder, and in the desktop we created the results folder, and so we'll do one thing. So results folder also it will create automatically. Okay, so Monisha, just ping in the chat window your mission key. Okay, just create a one more process. Weather and temperature. Okay. Weather and temperature. So could you please tell me how to check the mission name? So see, the one thing is like, so go to the start menu, just type UiPath. You can see the UiPath assistant. Understand, Manisha? Just click on that assistant. You can see this symbol preferences. Click on that. Click on the preferences. It will show another pop-up. Here there is a orchestrator settings. Here is a mission key. So if you don't find mission key, what you just click on this connection type. Okay, you can see the single type. Just in the connection type, just click on that. Select the mission key. If you are not able to do, just disconnect first. Okay, disconnect. Click on the disconnect and go to the connection type. Select the mission key and you can find the mission name. Just copy this mission name into the chart window. That's it. Okay, now so what we will do, so we'll just create a one asset for the city names, right? Or main city names. Here I'm just sitting the Bangalore, comma, or semicolon. Let's do the commas. Bangalore, comma, Chennai, comma, Hyderabad. Okay, it's a comma separated string. It is a string only. Okay, let's go to the UiPath. and just refresh the okay. So first of all, main city names. The main city names, just drag the main city names here and just get asset. You can give the here the asset value, the maybe all city names. Okay, all city names. We just simply display the message box. So all city names. It will just retrieve the all the city names string and it will display. Right. Okay. Now, so we have to split into the multiple values. So how can I split? So let's create a city list. The city list is an array of strings, to store this array of strings, and the city list the variable, and all cities names dot split. Just use the split method. Let us see what will happen. All cities city list of 0. So just we simply use the split. Now it is not working, right? Split is not working. Okay, if it's having the spaces, it might work. Let us give the spaces here. Main. Let us give the spaces and try between the cities. Okay. Okay, city of 0 is a Bangalore. Now it is split into the list. How can we loop list? For each activity to loop each and every item from the list. That is basically a string. So because we use this is a list of strings, right? Use a strings and city list. So this item will give this item in city. Okay, if you just use a city here, let's run. It will loop. So what we done up to now, we just get the asset value from the orchestrator, the main city names, and split it by using the space. Automatically, if you use a normal split, it automatically split by using the space. You don't need to specify the space separately in the split method. And we use the for each activity to loop each and every item from that particular list. So normally, if you see main, actually this is like a this is Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, but it is listed like a Bangalore is one item, Chennai is one item, Hyderabad is one item. Okay, so what we can do with this, open browser, and this the browser is a Chrome, and use something like a any browser, google.com. Okay, just use the google.com hard-coded value, and here if you want to maximize that window, and you just type into select the text box. So you have to type the weather in city. Okay, and just press the enter. Okay, and immediately you just use the get text activity to get the text. So otherwise, what we'll do, just type the weather in Ongole. So it will show one message, right? So what we'll do, what is the time in Ongole? We like this. Okay, so we'll do one thing. So we'll just create a text screenshot. Take the screenshot of that particular image. Yeah, this one, and the yeah, open the UI Explorer just for modification. Okay, it seems what we'll do, so we'll just use a weather in Kakinada something. Just change that weather in Kakinada and try to validate whether it is working for every. Even though the city name is changed, it is working. Just check for one or two. If that is working fine, then you can use a selector. But here it's not working, right? Whether in Hyderabad, it might change something. Okay. Just type this one. So just change the, or let us take this thing. Let us take this one. For this also we have many things. Okay. Yeah, it is taking, but not. Don't believe on this. So because we have to change the again the city names and try to identify. Okay. Yeah, it is not identifying. Okay. It's not identifying. So remove IDX. Okay. Let us do one thing. So if we remove IDX, let's indicate on the screen. In this case, so because in this case, let us see Kochi. Yeah, it is identifying. Let's try two more cities. No, it's not identifying. Okay. So what happened? This is like a that is changed. But what? Yeah, it seems like a, but it is taking the IDX again one. Okay, because it might have multiple things. Okay, that's why it is taking the IDX one. Okay, so let us see. So what will happen? This is a path selector. Okay, so we're in the open browser, I think. Okay, let's remove. And here, wait for. So I'm just waiting 1 second. Before taking the screenshot, it will take the 1 second, and the output is like so. IMG, some IMG image. and use the save image img. You're using the image and the path. So path is like a, so if you want to create, so what will happen in the results? So suppose for example here environment so we're just creating the desktop path. So you're using the path of the main file. So result, the result path is like it's a desktop path plus slash results or bot results, right? Okay, so bot results. This is a one path. What we will do, so we will create a folder. So if this is not there, what it will do is it will just create. It is already there, it won't create. Okay, so we take in the desktop path of that particular bot, and in the desktop, so we are just creating the bot results folder. Okay, that is a result path, and the same path we are giving the result path plus result path plus slash weather underscore city name. Okay, city dot png. This will save the png file in the particular location. Okay, let us we don't have any type of bot result folder here. Let us try to run. So from where we will get the city names? Just type in the chat window. From where we will get the city names? Okay, so the message box. We will get the city names from the orchestrator, and also, so once we get the save, we will do, so we'll just close the tab, close the browser, because see how many browsers is open, right? So this browser is not required. Once you got the information from for that particular city, you don't need the information. And also see a new folder is created in my desktop, that is the bot results, and you can see the weather underscore Bangalore, weather underscore Chennai, weather underscore Hyderabad. These files are created, right? This is for weather. Okay, this is for weather. Okay, so what we will do, we'll just use some as an operator, W or T. That means weather or temperature. Okay, here weather, if you just type the weather, so here you can use a switch case or something like that. Switch case, I'm just using the switch case here, or yeah, switch case, the string basically W or T. So if it's a weather, then it is the path, and if it's a temperature, then that is a different thing. Okay, let's copy paste here. If it's weather, this is a process, so we created the process for the weather. It takes the thing and do the same thing for the temperature also. Okay, but the temperature sorry, time, not the temperature and weather is the same. Okay, weather and time, so weather or time, right? That's the project name also, weather or time. Okay, in the time in the city names. Let's go and open the some city, and you can see time in Kakinada. Okay, so it will type the time in Kakinada, and just take the something like this. So let us try this one. The same problem. Do the same thing for yeah. It seems it's working. So let us go with the, but it is taking the index 3. Let's try one more time. It's working fine. Okay, let's go with this. Okay, go with this, and yeah, the same thing. So it will just type the temp here, temp underscore city name. So temp, or so, no, sorry, not temp, time underscore the city name. Okay. The text, anyway, text file is the text is same. Okay, so based on the things which you are providing here, so if it's providing weather, so it will type the weather. If it's providing the temp, so you have to use the temp. Sorry, time. I just provided the time and close the thing and remove this. I think I removed. Okay. That's done. Yeah, bot results is created. I have something is wrong. Something is went wrong. Okay. Let us see. So what is here is a time, right? Time. Okay. That's why it is not. Delete this one and try to run this. Now let us see. So we will get the time in the bot result folder or not. See, the time is there. Okay. So time for the Bangalore, time for Chennai, time for Hyderabad. Do you get it? Now what we will do? See, the asset also. So we'll get this value from the asset. Okay. So let us go to the assets. Here is the last point I'm going to tell in the assets. Just please listen carefully. So yeah, so we'll create one asset called weather or time. Here I'm just giving that time. Okay, so weather or time is the asset name. Let's go and create a get asset. Okay, so what is the asset name? Weather or time, and here W or time. So I'm just removing this as an operator. Okay, so what it will do? So we will get the value from the here time. Let us publish this process. Okay, publish this process. Okay, so now we publish it into the orchestrator, right? So I just close the studio, and so what we'll do, we'll just we don't have a folder called bot results here. So let's go to the permissions. Okay. See the process. So did we create the process? We didn't create the process, right? What is the process name here? So weather and time. Okay, that is the process name. That's the latest version is available. The one only is available. Environment, I'm just selected the NTC and run, and the name is like this. So weather and time, something like that. Okay. You go to the jobs and run the job. So weather and time. Okay, select the robot. Run. Let us see. So which one it will come. So it will create a new folder in the my desktop. Everything it will control from orchestrator. See, so we got all the themes. Okay, do you understand? So let's remove this bot, this bot folder, and go to here assets, and what is assets like weather, weather and time. I gave the time, that's why it is giving the time. So let's extend the value to the weather. Okay, and also not only that, so in the main cities, let me add one more city name, Kochi. Okay, let's go to the automation ops. You're not touching any code, so, right? You're not changing any code, so we don't open the studio, nothing. Let's run the process. See, it will create a folder here. Okay, let us see the bot results. You have a Kochi also. Okay, so the Bangalore, Chennai, and Kochi. This is a weather, not time, right? So it is like as you can modify. Now the final part we will see. So let us configure Monisha's system here. Okay, yeah, Monisha. So just type your mission name in the chat window. Monisha, are you going to share? So under process, I could see only the three options, which is a general keyboard shortcuts. Orchestrator settings. Click on the orchestrator settings. In the preferences, click on the orchestrator settings. Otherwise, let's share your screen. Okay, share your screen. All of you, let us know. So once you are able to see Monisha's screen, ping in the chat window. So all you are able to see Monisha's screen. Yeah. Okay. So give me control, Monisha. I'm requesting you control, keyboard mouse control. Yeah. So here, one second. So go to the preferences, and here sign in. Just select this one. Sign out, and select this one. Mission key, and you can see the mission key here. This mission key I'm just asking you. Just Control C. Just type the Control C. Okay. Control C, and let me share my screen. Okay. Let's go to this orchestrator, and create a mission for create a mission for just type that one, paste in the chat window. Monisha, paste that one in the chat window. Your mission name. Okay. Okay, here is I gave the mission name, give one license and privilege provision, and go to the robots. So here go to the robots and click on the new robot, standard robot, and mission is like the Monisha as me, and standard unattended. Let us see here. So let's share your screen again. What you have to do, so you just go to the share your screen. So go to the command line, CMD. Just type the CMD in the start menu. Type the who am I without space. Who am I? Okay, copy those things. So ULIJ. Okay. Okay. Give me one thing. So I'm just okay. Let me share my screen. So what all others? So what we are doing? We're just connecting the Monisha's mission to here. Okay. So Monisha, so I'm just giving the control to you. Give keyboard and mouse. I gave the control to you. My mouse and keyboard. You can type your system password here. Okay. How you are logging into your system on the Windows? You type your password here. You have a control of my system. Just yeah. Is it yeah, okay. Just create, and what you can do, so I will just give the emission key into the I copy the mission key and paste it here in the chat window. Copy this mission key and also URL for my orchestrator. Give the URL here. Okay, let me ask you to share screen so others also can able to see. All others can able to see Monisha's screen, and yeah, Monisha, just close this command line. Okay. What you can do? So go to the chart window. You can find the mission key. Copy that mission key in the mission key place, and the orchestrator URL. Just copy the orchestrator URL from the chart window. Click on the connect. Okay. Okay, so let us see. It should come as a green color instead of orange. We'll see. Try again. Try to open this. Where is that? So sorry. Try to open that assistant again. Preferences. See, all of you, just listen here. So we developed the new process called weather time process in my system in studio. Right now, it's a green color. I think it's connected. Let's show your desktop. Just show your desktop to all. Okay, now, so what we can do. So I will run the process to Monisha's system. Let us try to run the process. I'm just triggering from the jobs, how we trigger the job in the same way. Let me, meanwhile, so what I done is like, so I'm just updated the Monisha's mission in the environment and run the job. Weather in, okay. So let us see her system. So desktop, open the desktop and the desktop. Okay, just don't move the mouse. Close this one, preference. Close this window. Okay, just don't move the mouse. So now what will happen? So I just trigger the bot in trigger the job and selected the Monisha system. Okay, and we will see that. So what will happen in the in Monisha's desktop? So we don't find any bot result folder. And what will happen now? This process, whatever the process we publish it in the orchestrator, this will install into her system. Okay, and it will run the process. See, it's created the folder in the desktop. Do you all observe? And it is opening the something like a weather in bot, right? Actually, where we develop the process, I developed the process in my studio. But so this is what actually real time. So real time. So multiple robots, they will trigger in one shot. Okay. So all the robots will work in the parallelly and complete the work. Okay. The same process you can just deploy into the as open and show. Yeah, what is that? Open that images. It is a someone is asked, so Surya, did you delete the process from your studio after publishing? Yeah, the project is different and publishing is different. Okay, if Surya is asking that if I delete the project in my system in studio, what will happen? It will work. Okay, because it is already published into the orchestrator. There is no connection, so it's not depending on my system process. Okay, if my system is a shutdown also. Okay, if I run from the my mobile and trigger the process into Monisha's system, it will work. It's not depending on my system. Okay, the orchestrator and the Monisha system is connected. Now let us see more advanced things. So here is a thing. So which one it is executed in Monisha system? Weather, right? Weather or time. Just type in the chat window. In Monisha system, which one it is executed? Weather, right? So for how many just close that image, Monisha. So these are all the Bangalore. Just see the images: Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kochi. 4, right? Let us see. Let me share my screen. So I'm not touching any code. Let us go to the assets. Here is the advanced thing. Okay, so let us go to the main cities. Okay, normally we are giving the value. But here there is another thing called value per bot. You can specify the values per each bot, separate values with the same asset name. Okay, let's click on the add robot and select the robot. I'm just selecting the NTC my system like a one goal space okay, so Trivandrum, right? This is for my system, and this text is for Monisha's system. Just Monisha, if the see. So for my system, the value is this one: Ongole, Kakinada, and Trivandrum. And Monisha's system, the values are different. So what is the asset name? Asset name is the same, right? So this is called value per bot, value per robot. So you're giving the value per each bot is separately. Let us do the same thing for okay, stay and give the text maybe. Okay, so let's remove this one and click on the global values. Not global values, update. Okay, now let us go to the other thing, like say weather and right. So here what we'll do, so I'm just stopping the global values, so we're not using the global values. So value per bot. So for Monisha, it is the weather. My system, that has been NTC bot, it is like a time. Okay, time. So asset name is the same, values is a different for each bot separate value. Okay, let's update and see what will happen if I run the bot. So because let me run the bot, because as it's running the untesting bot. Yeah, let's see jobs and let's start the running. Monisha, you delete that folder from your desktop. Okay, so this is actually, so as it is unattended. Okay, so it is running from the. Okay, let me go to the robots and make myself as a unattended. Okay, because the unattended bots can trigger from the orchestrator. Let us whether and select yeah, these two bots. Okay, let's try two bots. Okay, now I'm just running the process in bots. So let me delete my system also here. How can we see? Let us see her system first. So whether it is a clean or not. Then before running the process, your desktop. So see, Monisha's desktop does not have any folder. So let me share my screen. So I can't able to share both the screens parallelly while it is running in the same time, two different bots. Let me start now. So what will happen? It start the two jobs. So you see here are two jobs. Okay, and it runs. Let us try. Which one it is started now? It is started the Monisha system. So Monisha, your system, it is executing. Is it executing? I think it is executing. Let us share. Yeah, it is going weather in Monisha system. Weather. So, and this is like a the Kochi, these things and all. Okay, so let me share my screen and we'll see. It's pending. So because maybe let me just, because as it is having the only one that means unattended license, that's why maybe let me suppose this testing system and go to here and jobs. Let me delete this job or kill. Okay, let us start the job again. Whether in and see the my system and start. Now just check. So it will create a folder, and actually, so in Monisha systems it's run the weather, but in my system it is running the time. See the power of the value per bot. The same process, okay, and also the cities it will change. So for Monisha system, so that is a Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kochi. But my system, Canada, Angol, Trivandrum. Do you understand? This is the usage of value per bot. Okay, the city names are changed, and then here is a time. But for Monisha system, it is a what is that? It's weather, right? So do you all understand the value per bot? That is about the assets. Again, I'm recapping. Assets is having the assets is also like a variables, but we are storing these values in the orchestrator, the cloud. Okay, and the assets are like a text type, boolean type, integer type, and credential type. We can we can get the assets by using the get asset and get credential. These are all the two activities. And the next thing is like a you can have a value per bot. Okay. No. So Surya, so it is using the same process. Okay, same asset. Eh, So your statement is wrong. So it is using the different process and different asset values. So that is wrong. Actually, it is using the same process, same asset name, but the value for each bot is a different. Yeah, values are different. You are correct. Okay, but the asset values are different for each bot. And Sneha, why did you disable global value? Because it is not global value, it is a value per bot. Each bot has a separate value, Sneha. Okay? You understand, Sneha? Each bot, it is a separate value. It is not like a global value for all the bots. If you want a global value, you can switch on the global. If you want a separate value for each bot, you can use a. Okay, so please practice this assets and okay, so I think we got we taken a lot of time. Okay, extra, almost 50 minutes extra. Okay, but I hope it is very useful because we saw the real time the usage and okay, so with the two systems. Thank you very much, Manisha, Monisha. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. We'll see in the Monday, the same time. So we'll go through the remaining parts. Okay, so from yesterday onwards, I think these are all the advanced topics. Okay, advanced topics, very important concepts. So write down the notes and the interview questions also. Yeah, and practice is very important. Okay, thank you very much. So have a great day. Good night. Bye bye.